All right, we're good. Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna do a couple things today, real short intro stuff, and then we're gonna move on to like the main course, which is all of today and tomorrow, and it's like more of a project kind of thing. So we're gonna start with similar to what we did yesterday, a review with the sentence orders. So I put a new mixed up set of parts to a sentence up there. I drew the colored lines, and we just have to reorder it into a sentence based on the things that we have. So to begin, what goes in the first blank, the orange, the who?
Grossfati.
Grossfati, yes. Does someone there want to write it for me? Because I can't really read it.
Get on.
Someone can do it.
All right, I'll do it.
Thanks for the bribery candy here,
Roger, no, please do it in orange. Oh my God, please no.
No. He's a left.
Try to keep it somewhat near the lines. Yeah, okay.
It's gonna-
Grossfati, yes. What's happening? What's the verb? Tristan?
The hot and out.
Exactly. So what goes on that purple line?
You gotta underline the color where.
So if hat eingekauft is the verb, what goes on that purple line? Which part of it?
Cow. Cow.
Not
Yeah,
cow.
Einkauf.
Hot. It'd be hot. It's past tense. Past tense verb. I just mixed up. All right. When is it happening? Am Samstag. So that would go in the red spot. Am Samstag. Making it colorful? Yeah. Am Samstag. What comes next? Like, why is he doing it? Steven. Yeah, if you need to move, take a consider look.
For I can't read that, but whatever.
Buntmala.
Yeah, for Buntmala.
Hemden.
Hemden. Okay.
Yeah. If you're Buntmala,
Can I write
Hemden,
it? Oh.
will go in the green. Does anyone know what that means?
Colorful shirt.
Yes, he's looking for colorful shirts. So if you're Buntmala, Hemden, the brown, how is it happening?
Are there any more colors?
Just use this.
I'm purple.
What's Tristan?
Would it be Mitzgeld?
Mitgeld. Because
money.
he's doing it with money. That's how it's happening. Yes, Mitgeld. Yeah, now it's like coward things. And then finally, what goes in that last chunk? Where is it happening? What is that? Yes, beim Kleidungsgeschäft. What's a Kleidungsgeschäft? What's Kleidung?
Clothing.
Clothing. Geschäft. Clothing shop. Geschäft is the official word for like a store.
Pretend you can read that.
So, our full sentence is Grossvati hat am Samstag für Buntmale Hemden mit Geld beim Kleidungsgeschäft eingekauft. What is that sentence saying? Tristan.
So like, Granddaddy bought on Saturday. Granddaddy bought a colorful. Well, you went to the store for a colorful shirt with money.
Yeah. So Einkaufen is to shop. So it's Grossvati shopped for colorful shirts at the clothing store with money on Saturday. Yes, you guys are getting the idea. We'll probably keep doing a couple of these just so you get the repetitive idea of how the sentences are supposed to look, because it will help as you do your stories and stuff. Good. So we're going to review two of the exercises real fast from yesterday. We're going to do like the quick, easy ones. I already have my book out. So if you want to get those exercises out that you did yesterday from the book, if you need the book for reference, you can take them. Are you just going to share it?
I have one.
You have one. It doesn't matter. We're just going to do further review for now.
Next time you just have all of my literally like 5 seconds.
Oh, there. Do you need these for reference? We're not going to go over all the exercises. We're just going to go over like 2 of them, just to make sure we have an idea of what we're doing. So we're going to go over page 20, exercise 3, because that one's just that's like turning those phrases into past tense. That was like
page 23, is it?
Page 20. Exercise 3. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you have these little phrases, and you just have to put it in the past tense sentence. So starting off schwimmen gehen, Sophia.
Ich bin oft schwimmen gegangen.
Yes, ich bin oft schwimmen gegangen. I went swimming often. What about viel Sport machen, Tristan?
Ich habe viel Sport. Ich habe viel Sport gemacht.
Yes, ich habe viel Sport gemacht. What about 3, Christian?
Ich habe viele Bücher gelesen.
Yep, ich habe viele Bücher gelesen. What about 4, viel wandern? Wanna do that one? Connor, I didn't see your hand.
Would be, ich bin viel gewandert.
Yep, ich bin viel gewandert. Because it is movement, it is wandering around. 5, im Schwarzwald wandern. Steven?
Ich bin in Schwarzwald gewandert.
Yep, ich bin in Schwarzwald gewandert. 6, für meinen Vater arbeiten. Someone do that one?
Yeah,
Jackson? Oh, Whitesaw? I'll let Whitesaw do it. He seems very passionate.
I
about
got
this
it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What number are we
one.
on?
6, number 6.
Ich habe für meinen Vater gearbeitet.
Yes, ich habe für meinen Vater gearbeitet. Number 7, in Italian sein. Jackson.
Habe im Italien gegessen.
Would be habe. It's a state of being. So ich. Bin, yes. Ich bin. Yeah, you have a question?
What if I just use ich var?
That's what
That
I
would
used
also
to,
work.
yeah.
So you know the other 2 exercises that you're doing with Hatten and Waren?
Oh.
Waren can replace ist gewesen. I would highly recommend you use Waren instead of ist gewesen. No one says ist gewesen. You can also use Hatten instead of hat gehabt, because that people don't use either. That's what the next exercise is. But yeah, so you could say ich bin in Italian gewesen or ich war in Italian. That's just I was in Italy. Number 8, Besuch aus den USA haben. Someone want to try that one? Steven?
Would it be ich hatte Besuch aus den USA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ich hatte Besuch aus den USA.
Okay.
I had a visit to the USA. That's a weird sentence.
That's the way I read it though.
Mhm.
I don't know.
No, that is how it would work because Besuch in there isn't a verb. It's a
Yeah.
noun, like a visit.
Yeah.
So that would work definitely. 9, nach Spanien fahren. I want to do that one, the last one. Isandra.
Ich bin nach Spanien gefahren.
Yep, ich bin nach Spanien gefahren. Good. That's just practicing normal past tense. Then the other one we're just going to review is page 22, exercise 8. This is just using a form of waren or hatten. It's filling in blanks. So all it is conjugating either hatten or waren depending on what's happening. This one, I'll just, if you want, we'll just do it sentence by sentence. So you either have to put hatten, waren, and whatever the conjugation would be for that point. So number 1, who wants to do that first sentence? Christian.
Warst du in den Ferien?
Yep, wo warst du in den Ferien? Who wants to do the second one? Und dein Bruder, Tristan.
Und dein Bruder wo wart er?
Wouldn't be Vart. Look at the top. What does it have for air? The ending for Var.
It's just var.
Yes, it's just Var. Okay. Und dein Bruder wo war er? Yep. Who wants to do the next one? Next sentence. Christian, why not?
Oh, und deine Eltern hatte in Italien?
Wouldn't be hatte.
Oh, it's multiple, so it'd be hatte.
Wouldn't be hatte. They're not having in Italy.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Var and
Yes, Var. Oh, und deine Eltern waren in Italian. They were in Italy. Sophia, do you want to do the next one?
Toll. Also, ich war nur zu Hause.
Yep. Ich war nur zu Hause. And then the last one for that one. So I want to do Isandra.
Ich hatte kein Geld für eine Reise.
Yep. Ich hatte kein Geld für eine Reise. I had no money for a trip.
No guilt.
Yeah. Number 2. Does someone want to do the first one? The Z blank fixed bar. Christian.
the hatte for
Wouldn't be hatte.
Is it the right word though?
No.
Var.
Var. It would be Waren because it's
Var.
plural.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Die Wanderung, that's like the the hikes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, the plural of hikes, and it's saying they were good, or they were like really good.
Oh.
That's why it's Varin, because they were. Yeah, that one can kind of be a little weird. Let's do the second one, or number 2. Steven.
Es war sehr heiß und wir waren Durst.
Wouldn't be Varin.
Durst
is like thirst.
Oh, okay. Und wir hatten Durst, aber nichts zu trinken mit.
Yep. Es war sehr heiß, it was very hot. Und wir hatten Durst, we were thirsty. Sophie, you want to do the next one?
Nur Monika hatte eine Flasche Wasser mit, aber das war nicht genug.
Yep. Nur Monika hatte eine Flasche Wasser mit, aber das war nicht genug. Only Monica had a water bottle with her, but it wasn't enough. Pretty much what I was saying. Then, number 3, does someone do the first one on number 3? Gavin.
Nun, wie war das Konzert?
Yep. Nun, wie war das Konzert? Like, how was the concert? Someone do the next one after that. Mike?
Wie war der Pianist und wie war das Orchester?
Yep. Wie war der Pianist und wie war das Orchester? How was the pianist and how was the orchestra? You want to do the last one, Matt?
Gut, nicht wahr, wart, ihr gute Platz, ja.
That one good bar.
Sorry.
Or use the other word.
Bars?
The other, not bar, and use the form of hatten for ear.
Oh. Hattet?
Hattet, yeah. It'd be hattet ear gute Plätze. That's like, did you have good seats?
Oh.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad we got that. As you see, Varn and hatten are a little bit nicer to use when you can. Yeah.
Story time.
It is story time. So now that we went over that, you guys definitely seem to have an idea. We're going to start this project. It's not going to be finished today, so don't worry about it. Do as much as you can today. That's the point. It's going to be due on Thursday. That's the point. That's what we're doing. So I have the instructions up here. I'm going to go over them. I'm going to have someone repeat them back to me just so everyone knows what we're doing. And we'll move forward. So to start, the main concept is you're making a story in the past tense. It can be in the form of a storybook. I did.
Yeah.
It has to be in the form of any kind of way you want to tell a story. A storybook, a comic. You can make it digitally on paper, a little booklet. I don't care, as long as it shows a story and it has pictures and the sentences. However you want to represent it is up to you. This is your creative liberty. It has to be a normal story, so beginning, middle, end. Like you can't just have random sentences that have nothing to do with each other. It has to be a story. You know, the man went to the store, the man bought some food, the man went home. In order, it has to follow some sort of order. There's a couple stipulations for each level. German 3s, you're a minimum of 8 sentences. 4s, it's 10, minimum of 10, not too many more. You can go as many as you like. I don't care, that's a minimum. Because if you need more sentences to tell your story, or you want to use more sentences to tell your story, feel free.
Is there a maximum?
Nope. If you manage to get me a ton of them by Thursday, in a full book, I will be super happy. Then I have another little thing just to add some variation. German 3s, you have to use a minimum of 2 time words or phrases. So on Monday, or yesterday, or over the summer, time words or phrases, something to represent when something is happening that's more specific. German 4s, I'd like you to try to use 4. It doesn't have to be anything insane, in summer in the year of 1995, when just something simple that you know.
Summer.
Easy.
If I named my character yesterday, does that count?
Huh?
If I named my character yesterday, does that count?
No, it has to be an actual time. So you can, when it comes to the verbs, only use the verbs that you've learned in class or from your worksheets. Don't look up new verbs. Use verbs that you know. Now, if you want to look up new nouns or new adjectives, that is okay. So they don't have to, so people or things that you want to look up, that's fine. But verbs, use the ones that you know from the sheets in the practice. That way you can use them, because that will be beneficial to you. Any other things you can look up, like new nouns, new adjectives? I don't care. Yes, what's up?
Is this in groups or singular?
This is singular. You can work together for like collaboration, but it is each of you are creating your own product.
Okay. Could Connor and I work together to make a 16-sentence little play?
Give me 1 second. I'll think about it as I finish explaining the instructions. So there's one main thing that I want you to do. This is to benefit you guys and myself. What I want you to do first, before you do like the actual product, come up with your story, write all the sentences. I want to proofread them to make sure they are good before you throw them into like your actual draft. That way, I want to make sure you guys are getting the idea and trying to make it as good as possible. And it allows me to see if you're Google Translating or not.
What if I just have a really bad word? What if I spell?
That's fine. I'll help you work through it. But like, I'll be pretty confident if I know if it's Google Translate or not. So I want you to write the sentences, come up with the story first, bring it to me to have it checked. When you think it's ready, I'll help you work through it, edit it, tweak it if there needs to be tweaking, things like that. And then when it's good, when I give it a go ahead, you can begin your actual like comic story, however you want to make it. When you make it, you have to have a visual or picture for every sentence. So a comic, each sentence has a frame or a scene. If it's a book, each page or something.
So if you were to make like a comic with 2 pieces in it, they say 2 sentences, you have to have like
1 picture for each sentence. Even if that means recreating it, it's just it adds more to it. So use that for however that influences your story. So if you have 8 sentences, you should have 8 pictures. That's kind of how that works. The sentences can be simple. They don't have to be overly complicated. If you want to add new things to make them vary and challenge yourselves, absolutely. That's why I want to proofread it, because I want to make sure you're doing it well, and then you can actually move forward. I just want to make sure you guys are getting the main concept of actually getting sentences correctly before moving on. I'll say I'll allow that, the play, if it is 16 and 4 time words and phrases because it doubles yours. Yes. I will allow that because you're both technically making 8 anyway.
Wait, so they don't have to draw pictures? They still have to draw pictures?
They still have to draw pictures with it. You will eventually on Thursday be like, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, not sure which day yet. We'll be like reading these to the class or showing it. So it'll be kind of like a story time. If you guys make a play and you want to act it out, go for it. However you want to present it, this is very creative. Yeah. But the main point is being able to tell a series of events in an order. Because like if someone asks you something that happened in the past, you want to be able to give them like a accounting of events. It doesn't have to be true, it can be completely made up. But it should follow a timeline of a sort so it makes sense. Does anyone have any questions? Someone tell me Thursday. Sometime. I'm not sure if it's beginning of Thursday or the end of Thursday. I'll be checking with everyone at the end of class to see where everyone's at and be talking with everyone very quickly individually, like where you need to be then. Like what do you need to work on where you're at. Benchmarks. We're going to do some benchmarks. So if no one has any questions right now, can someone tell me real quick summary, what are we doing?
I got you here, huh? So, we're writing a either fictional or non-fictional story, all in German.
Yep.
And it has to be progressive, it has to have an actual set, like, timeline, it can't be random sentences all over the place.
Yep.
And German 3s has to have a minimum of 8 sentences, as it says that on the board.
Yep.
German 4s have to have 10 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
You have to include some time words to give it, more of a timeline in the story. There has to be pictures.
Yes. Yes. Good. Good summary. We will allow flex. So if you want to flex, I suggest either writing these down or taking a picture for your reference. I will be walking around helping answering questions. But when you feel like you have your story good, ask me. I'll look over it. I'll let you know if anything needs to be changed, and then I'll give you like a green light or a red light. So, does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, break.
Good
luck. Have fun. I'll be around. Yep, flex and top.
Flexing day, huh?
I like to include.
Are you bringing the computer along with you?
No, it's just going to pretty much stay here.
Here we go. We got time for the call.
Do you like vlogs right here?
This eventually, yes.
Are the German too?
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
Oh, he's using them as a
Oh no.
thing.
What?
I
You don't
need
get
a,
German
I was gonna
two
grab the
books.
German books because they have all the verbs.
I can
Why did
switch
you
them
use
out.
the German 1 books?
I just grabbed the books that were available. Here, can you give me a couple of those? I can shift them out.
I got
I won't do all of them, but just a couple of them.
I'll grab you like a few.
Yeah.
Give me a year.
Go, go.
I understand. Yeah, if you want to use,
I'm gonna definitely use
If you
one
wanna-
of these though.
if you want to use your computers to look up nouns and adjectives, that's fine. If you need them to look up like grammar rules that you want to know, that's fine. But remember, the verbs must be ones you
We'll
know.
figure it out. Actually, it quite.
What other type of 1939? I mean, 1939.
How many do I have? 4?
Can't stop me, John.
Alright.
8 cents. Literally just.
Alright, John.
Yep, no problem. I just kind of grabbed the books that I saw.
I was like really bad with like remembering vocab.
I know this is stuff that I found. I visited a university on Saturday, and they have
Is that a
like, study like German books.
We actually
Yeah, they have a, what is it? They have a German degree.
Yeah, I heard they did.
where?
Simmonsburg University.
I don't know if it's a language degree or if it's just German.
Oh, do you have them too?
Oh.
We have a version, yes.
That's
very
awesome.
similar.
Yeah,
Hey, if it's a good reference, it's good.
Yeah, I thought I would.
I have a lot of
So
charts
when did
from
you
them.
stop by the German or the open house? Because they didn't give us enough time to do anything other than our one degree that we picked to go to.
Yeah, that's left.
Because like, that's why I went to the civil engineering room where they also gave a talk on electrical and every other type of engineering talk. Except for computing.
We're still in class. Oh, do they flex too? Good. So, works for me.
Is it Sunday yet?
What's Sunday?
I have a bunker track shoot I'm going to.
No, it's not Sunday. It's on Tuesday.
Oh.
We still got a good solid.
But it's
3
weird
days
because
of
like the 2 shoots I'm going to this year, the second one, which is like April 27th to the 28th, if I shoot real good, I qualify for a spot in Colorado Springs, which if I shoot really good out there, if I was to go out there, I'd be on the Junior Olympics.
37.
Sad part is, I'm not going to Colorado.
future.
Do we have to draw all of them? Why don't we take a picture of that?
However many you're going to put in your final product, that's how many pictures you take. It is. That's why I want you to make sure you at least have the story finished before doing the pictures.
Wait, hair
The pictures are necessary.
So if we have like 15 sentences, we have to have 15 pictures.
Yeah. I would like it. I mean, if it's like in one picture you have 2 people saying things like a dialogue, but you have more than them, as long as you have a minimum, I'll change it. As long as you have a minimum of 10 pictures,
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
So a minimum of 8 pictures for the 3s, a minimum of 10 pictures for the 4s.
But like the reason I'm not going to Colorado Springs is it's about the same time as nationals for the shooting team here at school.
Okay. And I want to do it here.
Yeah, I already talked to the coach with it, and he's like, well, my friend's dad told him that I'm not going to give up on my team my final year. And
Makes sense.
The coach looked right at my friend and said, and tell that kid, he goes, I understand.
Yeah.
He
It
goes,
makes
it's his
sense.
last year in high school, he goes, I understand, so.
Fully. Yeah.
But I'm still going to shoot, see how I do, and probably continue on once I'm done with high school, go through with college with it, and
Yeah. Why
whatnot.
not? If you like it, do it.
I love it. That's the problem. After the first shot, I loved it.
True. Yeah. Okay, so the 3s and 4s, it comes to the pictures. If you do more than the minimum, you'll need the minimum number of pictures. So like the minimum number of sentences. So like I saw guys, if she did like 19 sentences, when she has to do 50 pictures,
Oh, fuck.
no, but I'm very happy. We have to do a picture for each sentence. Yes. You tell a story. You can draw it.
That like function as a regular human being. Oh, the camera's on. Damn it. Ah!
It just happened at once.
I've never seen that before. What is happening?
You've never seen that?
Why is our school falling apart? Help! Help us!
Steven, do you need a minute?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, so like if
I need like a good 24 hours.
Me too. If I were to say like in 2007 was I am or I am.
Yeah.
Am?
Yeah.
So Yara is no stealing.
They're all just that's the old city in there. Stadt is just city, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna be really cool?
I said mine's gonna be really boring because I'm not creative in any way.
Mine's gonna be really cool.
And mine's gonna be like, I want to go back to my
Ein Woche mit musikalisch Superfrau.
$5 on the road.
Oh wait, $56.47 card still. And one for like $9.
You don't use we don't use common German, do we?
So technically, if I were to combine these,
I always thought we did.
I thought we did too.
But then I remembered that you switched their commas and their periods. I don't think so.
I'm so upset. That's it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so if I were to say Sonntag, do I need a comma after that? Because I want to use a comma after that. My natural instinct wants me to put a comma after this. Sonntag.
That's up to you. It really doesn't matter.
Doesn't? Okay, good.
They don't really use commas as much.
It will
but
matter in this sentence because there's multiple portions to it that need.
I would say if it helps you organize a sentence, to use it. Because the commas for that kind of example, it's really up to the person.
Okay.
How would you say like during the summer?
The word for during. Okay, I'll write it
Hey man, you want to shoot a card?
So Tristan and Connor have to do like 16 pictures, right?
Well, they each have to technically do 8.
You have to do 16.
Yeah, in total.
I actually gave that.
As long as they each do the minimum.
That up front.
So-
The lady goes. Her in the throat into the teeth. It would probably kill me.
Während. So,
Okay.
während Sommer, during summer. And then it follows the same thing as if you said am Sommer,
But
like
would
in
you say
Sommer.
like?
The things that make.
Because I was just gonna use a year just so I could like drag it out a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like say like the summer of 2010.
Oh. So during, you'd say während the summer of.
What's up?
No, they don't say of for years. They just say the year right after. So during the summer, whatever the year.
Okay.
So what if? Okay. The sentence that I want to write is on the beach using my hands. I dug a hole. That's not the full sentence. It's just like okay, on the beach with my hands. I dug. What would that be? What would how would that be organized?
Hair's brown.
On the beach
with my hands. I dug.
10, 5, 2000.
So, if I was saying that to you, I would say I dug with my hands on the beach. But in German, I need the location, and then because that verb needs to go at the end with because it's in past tense, it needs to go before. It needs to go after.
So. This gets into some of the exceptions on this. You know how before I said you could switch the time and the subject?
Yeah.
Like to say like on Monday, go I, whatever. You can do it with the other parts. So we saw like you wrote something on one of your sentences, something along those examples. But if you, as long as it stays in this kind of order, so like if you wanted to say, you're saying like on the beach with my hands, right?
Yeah.
So you have a location and a manner before you have the verb, right?
But I need the manner to be before the verb.
You need the manner, so it would need to stay in this order. So if you're saying on the beach with my hands, you have to say with my hands on the beach. Dig I, or dug I. It can go in the front, but the subject has to switch with it, and they still have to stay in order. So you can technically say, so like a real complicated example was, like look at the example we have here. Großvater hat am Samstag für Buntmaler Hemden mit Geld beim Kleidungsgeschäft eingekauft. If you took mit Geld beim Kleidungsgeschäft and put it in the front, and put Großvater right after the verb and said, mit Geld beim Kleidungsgeschäft hat Großvater am Samstag für Buntsmalenhemden eingekauft. That would work. They just have to stay in the order whenever you move them. So if you're trying to say on the beach with my hands, you would want to say with my hands on the beach. Dug I the hole.
And
Dug I the hole.
ear is heard, right?
Ear, yeah. With an ending depending on if it's nominative, accusative, or dative. How are you? You dug a hole for what? What are you do? How are you using her?
I'm just asking. What
Yeah,
her
ear
is.
would be her. IHR. Most of the time.
It's not. It's not dative. It's not for anybody. It's just
Okay.
her.
Just her. Then it would just be ear.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, I'll be proofreading, so when you finally make the sentence and you want me to look at it, I can look at it. Because yeah, that's when you get into the funky stuff where you can move things around.
So, what if I were to say with Jose's hands?
You can say mit Jose's Hände. It doesn't really, it's not how they would usually say it. They would, usually if you say with
The hands von Jose.
you would say the hands of Jose.
Yeah.
I would say the hands Jose. So like die Hände Jose would be the hands of Jose. You wouldn't need add the von. The von would make it easier.
Okay.
So yeah, if you said the hands of Jose, that would probably be the best. Or make the most sense. Because they do like genitive stuff, and that's just complicated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Like am Samstag, im Sommer, like yesterday, in the spring, whatever. Anything that represents something that expresses a sort of time.
Wait.
You could even say like at 5 o'clock.
Okay, so like if I were to say like, oh, I traveled to Florida, would it be not for two? Or
Travel
would
to
it be
Florida. So nach is for nach is for like states and countries. Zoo is for like cities and buildings. So if you're
That's
saying
right.
Florida, it'd be nach.
So wait, knock is for what?
Like large traveling. Zoo is for like smaller things. Nach is like places, like legit places, states, countries, continents. Zoo is more like, movie theaters, doctor's offices.
Alright.
So if you're saying to Florida, you'd want to use nach. That'd probably be the best. Check my room up here, so don't just let them slide. Yeah.
How do I say there lived a princess?
Like there once was.
Yeah.
Or there once lived. No, the paper.
No, it's all that long. It's all stable together.
But I could be wrong. CAN. This one is for like short form. So if you type in that box, David, hit the verb form. This is every form of Laban for every tense and for every country. So you will compare that. So, there once lived. Once upon a time, like as far I'm on.
Yeah, I got that.
Are you saying there once upon a time there lived?
Yeah, over.
Okay. You use dot. DA, then the pattern. Dot is also the word for there.
Wait, how do I say like the conjugation was required?
Well, who's living? Is it Sam?
Yeah.
So it'd be Yeah. The hot. The princess. She's saying once upon a time there was. Oh. Yeah, it gets over. What? What's this? What are you doing this time? Is this your story? Oh. Then I don't want to see.
What's fight? What's the verb fight again?
Fight?
From what I got, it's like comp. K-A-M-P-F.
It's just struggle, right? Or is it? There's that fight. No.
Confidence for fight.
Yes, those are different.
EA has an umlaut over it.
It's Kevin. What's the name for criminals? Bad guys. Oh wait, yeah.
Mike, come on. Yeah, but it's the same, that's why.
I'm doing this.
Nothing, just laughing at this because it's translating it weirdly. Select is bad, right?
Yeah.
Google Translate says it's licking.
Licking guys.
She fought with the licking people. Or is it Schlechte? It's licked. Do you have that adjective sheet or chart in your notes?
What oh, that thing?
Yeah. No, like the chart that we did. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Yeah.
Thinking around. Are the ideas flying?
No.
No? That's fine. That's why this isn't like a one-class thing.
Like, I know what to write about, it's just that to make it at least 10 sentences is my issue. To like,
And, yeah, and if you can't think, just either add stuff. It doesn't have to be like a legitimate story, as long as it follows an order.
Yeah.
Like I said, you could say the man went to the store. The man bought
So-
some food. He went home. He made dinner for his family. You know,
This
as long as it's a plot, some sort of
Yeah,
plot.
This is a sentence that I made when you told me.
Okay.
Am Sonntag mit Stimme von musikalisch Superfrau in der Stadt. Sie hat die schlecht Leute gekämpft. She fought the bad people.
Yeah, I know. The only thing here is since you have this all in the right order, which is great. The one thing is since you're putting it in front of the verb, the pronoun has to go right behind it.
Oh, okay. So hat sie.
Yes.
Okay.
Other than
That makes sense because that's
the sentence order is spot on. Because you have the time,
Hat sie.
which comes first, then you have like the manner and reason and stuff. This is plural, so it gets an e at the end.
That's what I was looking for. Damn it. Isandra.
It's okay. Schlechte Leute gekämpft. That would be, yeah, that would be the idea. That would make sense.
The licking people. Now, that's if it's spelled with a K, the licking people. When I first put in the Google Translate to see what it would give me, it just gave me the licking people. She fought the licking people.
That'd be kind of weird. But no, yes, that is how that would work. I'm glad you're challenging yourself.
Yes, I am.
It works. Because that's the only way you're gonna.
And the title is Ein Woche mit musikalisch Superfrau.
Ein Woche mit what? Musical superwoman?
Yeah, a week with musical superwoman.
Alright, solid.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
I'm just
take
not
it.
creative.
I know White Saul's writing about The Simpsons again. Sophie is doing like a princess fairy tale, I guess. It's like whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be that interesting. It could,
No, mine's gonna be very boring, so.
as long as it is getting the concept of the past tense and the order's right. It's whatever you want to do. It is up to you. You can be as creative or as uncreative as you would
Yeah,
like.
it's literally gonna be like, I traveled to Florida to visit my family. We went to the beach and blah, blah, blah.
That works. That works. Because
So-
honestly, when you're in Germany and you're talking past tense, usually you're telling of things you did. So it's like, last week I did this, then I did this. We went to the beach. We stayed in Florida for a week, You do those kind of things. Do you have your ideas flying?
Sure. Let's go with that.
What are you telling your story for?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Do you know what you want to tell?
I see
Like,
that
what you want to say?
past tense thing.
Do you hear my words at all?
You have an idea in mind for what you want to happen. Plan that out first. Plan out this is what I want. It's going to start, middle, and end. Like White Saw has a little outlines. Like at the beginning, they're all happy they have kids. In the middle, they get a divorce because of drunkenness or whatever. And then at the end, he goes to jail or something, or goes to AA. I don't know. He has it planned out. Then he's going to switch it into German. So I would say think of that. Try to form that idea and then go from there. Work out instead of in. Because working in can sometimes be complicated.
What is laboratory in German?
Laboratory?
Yeah, I forget. Is that science place? Is that like science room? Can I call it that? The science room?
That'd be, if you said the science room, would be, as long as it's the science room. I feel like it's just lab in some way. Laboratory. Oh, labor.
Oh yeah, labor.
Just L-A-B-O-R. Yep, it's easier than English. Labor. Labor. Like give you a limit? Keep it under. So don't use no curse words. I don't want inappropriate illicit content.
What if it's a well-crafted metaphor that nobody knows what nobody will know. Yeah, but layer. You won't even know unless you read it.
I mean, I'll only know what I read. So, if you can somehow craft it where I won't understand, then you'll be okay. You're telling me about a princess, what are you talking think of an outline. Like I know White Saw, he's talking about Simpsons again. It's like White Saw has a beginning set up. It's like, you know, they start out, they're super happy as kids. In the middle, like something happens, he gets drunk and they get a divorce, and at the end, it's like, you know, something happens, he goes to jail or something. Think of an idea and work from there. I don't know. Whatever.
No, the first one. This one I don't know if it's first or last. That's the one that got her head on. Probably not. Yep. And the other one was Queen of Austria. She was like famous with Austria.
What's first?
Holy Roman Empress. Seriously,
What's SB no? I don't know what that means.
Remember, I thought about it long enough, maybe, but I don't know.
Keep that in mind when you think like how okay it is.
White's all bad.
All you have to do is say, just tell them that. They'll leave you alone. That's how you make wet word change. Just remind them that I did it.
What is always in German? I forget. We learned that. Always. Always, always, always. Is that alles? No, that's all.
I wrote it over there.
Well, I was thinking of stories too, right? They actual ones that come to like that they feel like we are like so like
Together, the whole lot. All kinds of, all possible, all sorts of, all the time. All I know is here.
I like Rob something. She goes down to the second act.
I remember last time I saw it.
No, you forgot.
Yes.
Oh, they're all past tense?
Yes.
Immer is always.
I tried to do it. Yes, actually, yes. Sorry.
There's
If you fight about
Android out of control.
So it's a story about. It's a story about. Yes, that season 8
Ah.
Homer der Trinker, Marge Mark Twain. Sorry, what? Yes.
You don't like my screen? Maybe like a PowerPoint? Oh, that'd be nice. We can share that on the sector.
Exactly.
I do that too.
Also, on the I like that one too.
I like it.
On the anime.
You want to present? They want to do like a play and do it like a PowerPoint?
If I make like a book, do we like have like a little circle and I can like sit in front of the class?
Yeah. You're gonna share it how you want to share it. I'm gonna ask right now. It's funny because in a little while, like later on, you will have to record anyway. So there you go. You're getting practice. Depends. I don't know what we're doing for the third course so far yet. We might have to have like group other elements. But
I want to say take out would it be
like you took something out.
Yeah.
House. So Ishava would be there. So Ishava, whatever being taken out. So Ishava, line of appendix, house, event, or genomen, it's genomen. Yeah.
How long is it? I mean, her name is like.
Her name was. I'd say it's okay to have a couple of physical ones. Her name was, as long as you can make a visual representation of it. It's past tense. Just make it past tense anyway. I'd say not all of them. Like I'd say, shouldn't just be. Her name was. She was this tall. She was this big. She was this color. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. They don't need to all be like ridiculously insane. Well, if you can't find that, look it up on YouTube. Remember, just like Laban, just look up Python. Same thing. But it's more of the word for talk. Like if I say it creatively, I tell you.
I was just so confused, like, you could tell, oh yeah, right.
It could be multiple, yeah. Actually, the best for
Why do you have a picture of Chris?
because we found
Yeah, just go into Jesus Christ.
How's it hanging?
Oh, what? It's finished? Yeah, I know.
To win?
Oh, your door. I thought you were talking about.
Why?
As a reason. Why?
I was about to say, I don't know what's bad about it. It's a lot like, what's his name?
Look up victory and say for victory. Don't say to win. Say for victory. Because that would be probably better.
I found my friend Cody Black from his dentist.
Yeah, for C. Or for airful, I'd say C.
Can we use var in place of haben?
Hmm?
We use var in place of haben for a verb.
No, it's
Like in terms of what?
Ich war zu das Geschäft gegangen.
That wouldn't really work. You would have to use haben there, like I went to the place. Because like if you were to say ich war zum Supermarkt gegangen, you'd technically be saying I went to the supermarket.
It wouldn't be I was going.
No. If you said ich war zum Supermarkt gehen, that would be I was going, because the going's still present.
Ich war im Supermarkt gehen.
Yeah. So it would be to the
Yeah,
supermarket.
I know. I'm just saying
Mhm.
var gehen.
Var gehen would be was going.
Okay.
It would be always the infinitive form if you
Yes.
were to do that.
Because if you think about it, was going, the going's still in present tense. The was is the past. Went is when the gain is in past. So if you said,
Sorry. What?
sorry, no,
I was going to ask, how do you say places?
places,
Yeah.
like what kind of places?
Like, oh, she took us to many places.
Oh, ort, O-R-T is place.
Okay.
Orton, or orta, I don't know, whatever the plural was.
Okay.
You might have to look that up.
I looked it up. It was O-R-T-E.
Yes,
Okay.
orta. Yeah, ort is like a location. Plots is more like a space. So like, if you say you went to places like cities, like we went to many places, it'd be orton or orta. If you were saying like, I went over to that area or that place, like over there, like that place outside, that'd be like plots. So it's like ort is like the big place, plots is like an area.
Alright.
What did I just say? Oh my god, that's scary.
The word for doctor is arts. Arts is male doctor, arts is female doctor. They're arts. Like arts. No, that'd be multiple doctors. There are faculties of
Watching is on here. You just are showing.
Is that what that came up with? Okay. So I was like, actually,
Beaches was
no, actually, no, that's good.
I only asked you because I thought you were. Since you're saying a lot of things.
Hopkins used to have. It's like whatever Haska Hop, like Hava, Daska Hop. I had that. You just say like if
She got it from her. Once
I
she
have it ran. I did. I got a cut. It never went like past my eyebrows here. I'm not bad. That was awful. Ben, how's your PG-13 story? Still working on it. I still want to sound the game. Whoa! I'd say at least focus on trying to get some ideas at least. Yeah. Form a story and then work from there.
Am Dienstag, sie hat zu die Disco gegangen und wann sie war in die Disco tanzen, sie hat einen Frosch gesät. That's a long sentence.
All your sentences.
What?
So it seems like all your sentences.
Good, that means that they can't yell at me for having too short sentences. I'm actually going to break that up into 2 sentences, so that's a little bit too long in one sentence.
What's something else you do at the beach besides like swimming and maybe play
Like catch? Frisbee?
It was on one of the crash courses. It's a good call. It depends. Are they, how are they on? Celebrate. Yes, and now. And they're going to come in, right? Yeah, we can celebrate.
Like,
Well, I can hear you talking about it. They're watching us. You know, like everyone's outside. It's so funny.
These guys.
No. Okay, so like, when it comes to like activism, which one's the subject and the verb? Yeah. Like grow.
Which one's the subject? You just put there's the yes or whatever or egg.
Well, no, cause like, so what I'm doing is like I'm listing like, oh, there we played volleyball, swam, blah blah blah, and he said to put the verb first, but he said to just put like the ist gesprochen. I don't know which one was first.
That's like a math problem. I don't know.
Whenever you are putting a word that isn't a subject in front of the verb, it has to switch the noun to the subject. What are you talking about? You heard. Oh, older. I heard real Fiona and older Fiona. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought it was Shrek, but I'm like, older Fiona and real Fiona.
What's this like form of beer? Is it sit?
Yeah,
I don't care what you're trying Just make sure you change the past tense for the actual story. Because remember, it has to be past tense. Right now it's present. Like, I go on Sunday. It has to be I went. So, form of, since movement is going to be a form of sein for ich. and then the past participle would go at the end.
Ninjas in German is ninjas, right?
I think so. I think that would make sense. I think I've heard that before.
But what is it plural though? That's what I'm asking. Ninjas.
It's just ninja.
There's a ninja. Ninja. Makes sense.
No, because it's ninja with an A, so it'd probably just be ninja. Die Ninja. Just change it to like
Yeah,
plural.
it's already die schlecht Ninja gekommen.
Yeah, then I think just
Am Mittwoch, sie hat dieser Stadt gegangen und sie hat die schlecht Ninja gekämpft.
Oh, right here. Remember, since you have the Mittwoch, that's fine. It takes some getting used to. Wait. Well, yeah, the comma, but remember, since that's first, these have to switch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember, if anything goes in front of the verb, the subject has to come after the verb then.
That's for all of these then, damn it.
It is hard to get used to because you're so used to practicing the easy sentence where you put the subject then verb, and now you're like, oh crap, now I gotta flip it.
Would this be right there? Probably not. I couldn't really.
So Dort, we knew Frisbee? We knew Frisbee? Knew.
Oh,
Gewusst
oh my
ist
god, I read this through.
Verifin is through. Hold on. So, since you have Dort, the verb has to come second. So it'd be Dort haben wir, Frisbee, wie Verifin, or whatever the past tense, geworfen.
Yeah, so it's.
Geworfen, whatever. Sind geschwommen, and the haben would come before the volleyball because it's still you that are doing it. The volleyball's not the subject. So it'd be one haben volleyball. And that would work.
And then, so what did this say?
Yeah. Yeah, that would work.
Okay, so then once again for this one, right here. So since it's dative, you could just combine these and make it Zor. No idea what that means. So you know how like we have when you say you get a Zom supermarket? Yeah. The Zom is technically Zu Ding. Oh. It's what is it? Contractions? Is that what it's called? When we so
like don't
just Zu ER.
ZUR.
Oh, Zur.
Zor.
Okay.
It just takes the end of the dare word and puts it on the Zu. Only in dative.
Okay.
It's only in dative. It takes the end of the dare word. So if it's dare, it's Zor. If it's dame, it's Zum. If it's D, it's just Zu.
Hat sie zur Stadt gegangen und sie hat, or is it hat sie?
No, sie hat.
Sie hat die schlecht Ninja gekämpft.
Yeah.
She, on Wednesday, she went to the city and she fought the bad ninjas.
You do you, man. That works. It's cool. I like it. Ich bin am Samstag für Sie Hier Sie mit dem Bus zum Bewehr. What are you trying to say there? Just making sure. I'm gonna look up the word for competition can change depending. I'm gonna check. Do strike. Strike. That one right there. Because that one's more of a contest. So Kochen strike. Other than that, it works. Yep. It's good. I like it. I didn't build roll. Remember, you should get the story done first because I have to proofread it before you get to finish it.
I feel like I should definitely draw first.
If it helps, just know that I do need to read the sentence first. So I need to read it. If you take a story that already exists and like yeah, if you were to do that in German, as long as you do it in German, because it's like he's used to doing the same thing with like Fallout story line, whatever. You know, I woke up in a chamber or something, and you're using Shrek. Yeah, I don't care. And if you adapt it to make it your own, because it's not like you're trying to sell this or you know. Right. Let's keep it school approach.
I'm literally writing about a drunk family and home beating his kids.
As long as you express that it's not a good thing. I don't care. Like here's one of that party kids. I said if there's zombie kids, it's okay. What do you want to happen? No, I'm just saying, if you're having trouble thinking of ideas, come up with what you want to have in it and end, and what you want to have in it. This is what you're doing. You can have all that time to have walk all the way down there. How is your attention shooting me in your eyes? Even if you just said, you know, you lived his life, that would count as an ending. As long as it's somewhat concluded. Like, as long as it's not like, the party went to the store. Yeah. Alright, what did you do at the store? You just said, like, you lived his life. I think I sounded talking about
When he keeps on giving me Quentin's getting good.
Keeps giving you as an example to everyone out there.
Quit telling everyone!
I'm using it as an example to help him.
Mine's a true. Yo, John. Yeah, I think I'm thinking about doing one like that.
What's sing tone? Yeah, sing.
I don't know, for some reason when I'm not looking for it, I always see the words, but then when I'm looking for it, I cannot find it.
Good afternoon, Seth. Today is Tuesday, March 26th, and these are your afternoon announcements.
I'll be back around real fast.
Any student who
we're finishing up.
Wishes to seek application for the Spanish.
So you're in thought process, working through.
Please give a copy
What do you
of your
need
grades
to
to anyone.
You're on the way of Red Dawn.
This is you determining what you need to do in order to
seniors to sign up for senior.
we have to hang this back in.
Looking for senior.
Yeah, I mean you can take one home.
Last week to submit senior quote.
Getting down your thoughts.
Looking for baby pictures of senior.
I just want to make sure where are you at and what do you need to do for the future?
This is going the way.
So finishing up the story. Right? Cool. What about you, Steven? You seem like you're getting there.
Yeah, I already know what I'm doing.
Finishing it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I keep on saying, get on, and like, I went to this house, and I said, like, I went to go see a movie, and for us.
You were interested.
How did you get there? I drove to the movies. I saw a movie.
Can we stop recording?
I flew to the movies.
Turn it off.
Just use different modes of transportation.
Wait, why did Sophia get more candy?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a rabbit from earlier. Never mind.
What do you need to do?
What do I need to do?
For your story, like, what do you need to do?
Where
Where are you at? What do you need to do?
I'm on the storyboard planning.
Storyboard planning. Finishing up getting your thoughts.
No,
what do you need to do?
Write the story? No.
So you have the outline.
I have everything. Everything.
Good.
I really need to pee right now.
What do you need to do for the story?
We got the camera, right?
about that.
I have like no time.
I have no time.
For the story, I need to write
Wait,
some
here, your thing isn't so recording.
So getting down the thoughts.
It's still recording?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no.
fine. Gavin, what did you do? What is this? Where are you at in the process?
I know what I'm gonna write.
You know you're gonna write. Just getting through it. Like where are you at with these? So you need to work it and make it exist.
My razor was dead. It was like, me and her doing the other back.
We have the ideas.
We have like, you know, one of these normally, and that one's like,
Getting the sense.
exactly the other one. So I brought the razor in there and like, shave. The first time, I shaved it. No, it's all like hard. And I waited so I went back.
Yeah, where are you at now?
And it's dead.
Well, I don't
I just want to get
You don't need more
started.
time. So just
I'm
turn
on
into
like
German.
half naked.
Good. That's where I'm looking. Is where you are at. What you know you need to do.
Yeah, every single time I've gone like showers, it's like
Where
fire,
are you?
I'm shave. It's still dead.
Give us a story. Good. So you know that you need to do.
And I have
Stand on.
This is how you got
Where are you at?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Hey, I should get it like forward, grab it, plug it in, so when I get it, I need to work next to it.
Your thoughts and then get German. Good.
I'm on the third test. I'm not doing an outline or anything. I just have the contest.
That's fine. So just finishing the story, getting through the rest of it.
What's a flower?
What are you gonna do? Where are you at? What do you need to do?
outline.
Finish with the outline.
We just need to translate.
Getting into German. Good. Cool. That's what I wanted to know. Just so you guys are aware of where you are at and where you need to go. That's what I want.
Yeah, no, we went on a roll.
Yeah, good.
We're having a time.
I look forward to it. A lot of them seem very creative and interesting.
I'll leave, right?
Even if they're not,
What's
as
fake?
long as you do the past tense.
Whoa! And she's gonna see me.
Work on this. Remember. Think about it. Yes.
What does it mean to leave?
To leave. How are you leaving?
Just to leave, just to go away.
That game. Remember? Remember that one?
Yeah.
And that, remember, that's a separable prefix. So the Vec part gets cut off and moved somewhere else.
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, they Austin said or Jackson said they got that at like the one college. They got like versions of this. You like had like, hey, if it works.
They're great, absolutely.
I think you should go out.
So are we gonna work on the synthesis tomorrow?
Yes, we're gonna do this more tomorrow, for sure.
Yeah,
I was asking, so I don't-
definitely part of the period,
Yeah. Because a lot of people seem to be pretty much, they have their thoughts, like what they kind of want to happen. It's now just getting the actual sentence down, which is good. The hardest part is thinking up what you want it to be about, and then it's just turning it into the sentences. I can. It is in.